what's up, Game Changers? We're here with my beautiful date, Miss Arvee Robinson, Master Speaker Trainer. Gosh, she brought me to this beautiful place. Hey, Game Changers! So I'm here privileged to interview Master Speaker Trainer Arvee Robinson. So the reason why I'm doing this is to provide some value. Maybe it could provide some value to you guys. I know we're in the real estate industry and we're in the people industry. So we actually speak a lot to people, prospect, and more. And for that, we have to be ready. Our speech, tonality, and whatever it is that we can communicate the right value to help our customers is important. So I invited this speaker. I knew her, I respect her for a while, and I've been following her for a while, and I know she can provide a lot of value. Without further ado, this is Master Speaker Trainer, Miss Arvee Robinson. Okay, so we're here with Master Speaker Trainer Arvee Robinson. She's given 3,500 speeches and shared a lot of A-list speakers, and it's just such a pleasure, Miss Robinson, to have you over here.
Thank you.
So my question is, what's the importance of really speaking clearly to your audience?
Well, it's very important to speak, for one thing, and to speak clearly, yes. But see, here's the thing. Most real estate professionals really don't get how important it is to get out there and really speak their business and share with people what makes them different. Because when you're on a stage, then it's like people fall in love with you first. Then they fall in love with your product or your service. And then they go and they buy it from you. So it's really, really important for you to get out there and speak as a real estate professional. I know a lot of real estate professionals are scared or they're afraid, but you know what? People aren't doing it. The real estate market are not doing it. When's the last time you saw a real estate professional stand up at a chamber and do a speech? Right? It just doesn't happen.
Not many.
So you could ace it, you could get the edge just by adding speaking to what you're already doing.
Fantastic. Seeing lately in watching YouTube videos, one of the problems is they're not practicing that much. One of my multimillionaire mentors, Peter Vogue, said, practice does not make perfect, but it makes permanence. What do you think about practice and role playing on how it influences the real estate industry?
Well, I'll tell you what I tell people is and you're right, most people do not practice what they're going to say before they go to a networking meeting, whether they know they're going to meet people, or they don't practice their speech if they do happen to have 5 or 10 minutes. Now, what I tell all my students and what I teach them is you have to practice 1 hour for every 2 minutes that you're going to speak. So if you're doing a 30-minute talk, that means you're practicing for 15 hours. That's how you can make it permanent, right? I tell people that's how you become the script. So if you're kind of forgetting what you're going to say, or if you're kind of fumbling, then you're not the script yet, and you need to continue to practice. So maybe 15 hours for you, maybe you need 5 more hours, maybe you need 20 hours, right? So you practice so much, and you practice it out loud. And again, this is role playing too. If you're role playing, you want to do the same thing with each other, and you just want to keep doing it over and over and over. Most people give up before it's done, before they're the script. So you have to. It's like this. Remember when you're driving in a car, and all of a sudden a song comes on the radio and you're singing it? Now, when did you set out to memorize that song? You never did. It was hearing it over and over again. So I tell people, all my students, I teach them, you cannot read your speech. You cannot just think your speech. You have to speak it out loud so that you hear it yourself. That's how you become it.
Wow, Miss Robinson, it's just such a pleasure like hearing that, because a lot of my friends, they're not really like practicing, and they actually despise like doing that. And actually, let's just deep dive into that, Miss Robinson. Why do you think a lot of people like stay away from practicing?
Well, I think they're lazy. For the most part, they're just lazy, or maybe they're not trained, and they don't know the proper way to practice, because there is a proper way.
Yes. So it sounds like it's maybe like the training part that's missing. I know for me, I partnered up with like people, but it didn't really work out. And then I partnered up with the right people, and I think being accountable and being like really objective focused is like really done it. And that's why like one of the things that I'm doing like this year is like hiring a coach, like a speech coach. such as you, or it wouldn't be.
If you're hiring a speech coach, it better be me.
Like it doesn't necessarily have to be
like
you, but
yeah, like a business coach or something like that.
Yeah, but for our listeners, like
okay.
I think like to really provide some value, it's really essential. Won't you agree?
Absolutely. You have to hire a coach for whatever you want to improve.
Yes.
Right? So if you're writing a book, there's book coaches. If it's health coaches. If it's speech coaches. Right? So you don't get somebody that does a lot of stuff.
Right.
You want to get narrow, focused, the best on what it is you want to improve.
Right.
And you'll never make it. You get so far on your own.
Yes.
And that's it. And that means a cap on your income,
Yes.
a cap on your associations, a cap on the way you live. So the only way you can break that is to bring other people into you and learn and absorb them and what they know, and then you can go to the next level, and you can give people that you're mentoring what you've learned. So not only do you want to hire a mentor, but you want to be a mentor
Right.
for
Wow.
things that you've learned. The best way to learn anything
Yes.
and to have it reinforced is to teach it to others.
Wow, that's really powerful, and I think one of the reasons why we're doing this, Miss Robinson, is we're actually like sharing what we're learning. That way we can review it, and at least for me, like it really reinforces what I'm learning when I'm teaching it to like another person. It's really
Amen.
powerful. And Miss Robinson, I know you don't. I know you have a client to like run into, and I respect your time. And thanks by the way, for like doing this and taking the time. And like one last question before we leave to really provide some value is, if you have one thing that you wanna share to our real estate professionals out there that's currently door knocking, currently like trying to create value to them, what would be that one thing that you would suggest to them?
Well, I do have more than one thing.
Okay.
But number one, stories. Stories sell. Stories act as invisible selling. So you want to learn how to be a great storyteller, especially if you're trying to sell, a house or an expensive house. Number two, you do have a message to share in a way that people can only hear it from you. So even if you're into real estate or some of the other kind of service type of organizations, you still have a message. It doesn't have to be, that message that's, going to, change somebody's life, but you do have one.
Yeah.
That message can change somebody's life, change somebody's business, and most people don't think that they have a message. So I'm here to say you all have a message, and only you can share it. So learn how to be a great storyteller, get your message out there, and the last thing is remember, if you can't say it, you can't sell it.
Wow. Miss Robinson, Miss Robinson, thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
do appreciate it. You heard it from the master speaker trainer itself. We're lucky to have her. Get a coach, have a story, and leave a message.
Right on.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Game changers, let's do it.